kind of carry on from the last video a little bit because I've been really wanting to get back into posting YouTube videos. And the whole reason that I kind of started this is because I wanted to explore alternative lifestyles and options. And I just naturally feel like I really want to share and I want to create. And I love I love creating things like the books, like the YouTube videos. And it was all just at the start, it was very like I feel like when you're in a space of um good energy and you are feeling in the right place and everything is aligned and balanced and you're feeling good, energetically and spiritually and mentally, and the energy is just there, and it's like ideas would just come through you, they just come to you, and it's not something that you can really plan or um, create even. It's just that all the ideas there, I just have to follow it. And even like with the children's books, it was really just like I'm really feeling something. Um, Something's coming up. I need to get a piece of paper to record it to whatever it is. And it's like it's not I don't feel like it's me or I'm creating it. It's just something that's coming through. Um, and then even with and then I could write a book in a couple of minutes. Same as with lyrics, it just like comes up, and then you just have to write it down quick enough so you don't forget. And then even with designing the books, it was very like when I'd written it, the images were just there. And when I was going through Canva trying to design the book, the books, all of them, it was more like I'm just looking through to find something that matches this pictures I've been given already in my head. So it wasn't like, oh, what should it be like? How should I create it? It was more like something's just been given to me and I just need to find something. Oh, that matches it, that matches it, that matches it. So that part, and the same with the YouTube videos, I was like, this is what needs to come through. So that part was all really, really, really easy. Um, and then along the way, I've got really lost in, but it has to be profitable and it has to be catchy and you have to have a plan and you have to have goals and you have to, complete all this list every day, and people telling me stuff like that, and then moving to the city to get normal jobs and then kind of having to change and like mold myself so much to fit, and things that I put on myself as well, like from my childhood as well, like having to look a certain way, having to act a certain way, like having to be nice, having to be kind, having to not make people feel bad, and get approval, and just all of these things, just absolutely, and having a routine and having to do, you have to do all of these things to be successful or to be, whatever, fit some sort of mold. And even though people have been helping me, like, oh, you should do this and you have to, have a goal and whatever, reach all these goals, like that has only just completely suffocated. Like, I feel like that, all of that completely suffocates and dampens and puts out your creativity. Um, and it just gets rid of all that natural creativity and that, and you just kind of go back into survival mode basically, because you're just trying to get through and you're having to change yourself and you're having to basically suppress your natural reactions to that, which are that you don't want to change yourself and that you don't feel like that, but you're having to pretend that you feel like that, or you have to be someone else to be professional and whatever, and all of those things you then have to internally fight against the natural feelings of, but I don't like that and that's not who I am and I don't want to do that. But you have to do these things for money or whatever. and to, even rent, you have to do specific things. And, and in the city, there's all these rules and penalties, and everything is punished if you do anything wrong. And yeah, and so isolating. Never been so isolated in my life. Because I always grew up in a big community where there was one secondary school in the whole valley. So everyone, everyone your parents knows, there's all the different generations. I grew up a lot around a lot of older people, aunties and uncles, grandmas, and all of their friends. Um, and it's good because everything teaches you something, and I really took for granted how amazing that community is. And when I grew up, it just wasn't the place for me. I had to go and kind of build my own, I guess. I just knew that, yeah, this just isn't the place for me. Um, I knew that I wasn't going to find anybody that I wanted to spend my life with. I knew that I just didn't want to live there. I had to kind of create something new. Um, and so I just followed that and obviously ended up in Australia. Um, and then just when I was thinking about going home for more community, I met Lawrence. And then we've kind of built our own little community with his brother and his girlfriend. Um, but still, city's so isolating. And I feel like I was traveling, I was really free, I had all this creative juice. And then coming into the city, having to get a job, having to mold and force yourself back into something that you really aren't and isn't really you, has slowly just completely drained that juice. And then the whole point of what I wanted to do is just gone. And then the more you try to force it and push it, and you're like, well, I have to do this and I have to follow this and I have to learn this, and it just completely extinguishes it. And um yeah, it's just not. And the thing is, why I feel like why people end up getting crutches, why people end up falling into addictions or into depressions, is because you are ignoring or denying or suppressing or forcing a part of yourself down, and you're having to force yourself to be something that you're not. Um, and I have been feeling for a long time that something is wrong, everything is wrong, this whole kind of life is wrong. But it's kind of against the norm and against, you know, what everybody else that is doing this thinks. Um, so then no wonder your body kind of becomes stagnant and depressed, and you're just in survival mode. And I've just come out of creation mode and gone into survival mode, and I think that's where a lot of people are living. And it's horrible, and that's why you end up having addictions and stuff. Um, and I've definitely felt my energy just go down and down and down. And you can think like, oh, maybe it's my diet, maybe it's, I just need a different job, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe I just need to, go to a yoga class. But it's so much deeper than that. And it's all the things that you've literally been ignoring and telling yourself that you aren't allowed to do, or you can't have, or you can't feel. And it just is slowly destroying you, and it's so disrespectful to your own body. Um, and I just feel I don't really care about specific goals. I don't really care about success. I don't really care about money. I never really have, but I'm easily bought into that way of thinking by thinking, oh, okay, well, I have to do this and I have to do this and I want to get approval, and but it's just not right. And I think if I did that, I would just be depressed my whole life. And I think why a lot of people have depression or other problems is because, yeah, your body doesn't want that. And what's been good is getting to the level of awareness and going through the healing that I've been through already has allowed me that when I've noticed these feelings coming on and these behaviors from the feelings, like wanting to, comfort eat, or pick at my skin, or other kind of negative behaviors, I can notice that, okay, this doesn't mean that I'm bad or there's anything wrong with me. This is uh, this is the disalignment. There's an imbalance. There's a dysfunction forming from this imbalance, and this is a message. Um, and I've been through the kind of, oh, this is not good. Why can't I just do what everybody else is doing? But I don't want to. I don't want to suppress myself to try to do something in a materialistic society that I don't even really want to be in or agree with. And I think if you can not look at depression or negative feelings or emotions or not doing what you're meant to be doing um, as a bad thing, but as this is a message, and regardless of what anybody else thinks, I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna follow it, and yeah, and so trying to explore different lives and see, kind of allow ourselves to lean into this journey and follow it without worrying about what you should do or what you shouldn't do, I think is really, really important, and what we are going to do basically. And I think it comes a lot more natural to me than it does, maybe to Lawrence. Um, but I think it's really, really important. And I feel like everything that my body tells me is against what society tells you. And I don't want to listen to society. I want to listen to my body and to my intuition. Um, and so basically, how that's manifesting in our real lives is that we are going to quit our jobs. We are going to leave the city. We are going to move into a van. We're going to have a lifestyle where you don't need as much money. We're going to get rid of most of our stuff. We're going to sell everything. We're going to see what else is out there and live more in nature. See. Can we live without conventional medicine? Can we live without lots of material possessions? Can we live in a way that society says that you're not successful? Um, so let's see, let's find out, and can we cure or heal or overcome depression or negative feelings or what society might label you as an illness? Can we overcome those things with unconventional methods, with basically going back to nature? Can we heal ourselves with herbs? These are all the things that we are going to try. And I think a lot of people, especially like, when you have kids or you have health problems or you have a dramatic event or a traumatic event that makes you question everything, this is, what people want to do or what they think about. But there's too much to lose. There's too many material things to lose. But for us, we've never bought into, we want to get a mortgage. That was like the last thing I ever wanted to do. We've never bought into, we need to save up and have a huge, big wedding. That I just thought that was a huge waste of time. So we don't have any of those huge things. We never climbed the corporate ladder or, kind of believed we needed all of those things. So we don't have that much attachment. So we can kind of just sell everything and go. And that goes against everything I'm kind of told. And one side of me is like, but no, you need to do this and get a job and climb and, get all these things and get a mortgage and but that all makes me unhappy being on that road. And so following my intuition and what my body wants, and that feels right. That brings creativity back into my life. And that is what is most important to me, being free, being able to create. And even with the books, like I just wanted to create them. And now I'm in this position where I have to try and sell them and be like a salesperson and try to get people to stock them. And I don't like that. I don't like to push. I don't like to force. I don't like to try and get a sale. I just wanted to create things. So this is going to be a whole new journey of, can we make money or make enough money by creating things? And will stuff come to us? And, can we create things that are going to allow us to keep that creative energy and feel abundant and have positivity that's going to allow us to grow and create a sustainable lifestyle? And I don't know. Being open to failure is also something that I've had to learn, but it's something that is really, really important. You want to fail. This is what I've realized, that I never did anything, and I stayed so safe in some ways, to not fail. And in other ways, I've really pushed myself outside of my comfort zone and traveled and, lived in different communities. And but I was always just kind of gathering evidence, and I've studied all these different things, and really just because I wanted to know them myself. And then it's kind of like, well, I haven't even done anything with that, or I haven't done what, you should do. Um, and I've just gone off and kind of done whatever my intuition or whatever I feel like, or whatever, whenever I've had that creative energy, I've just kind of gone with that. But whether that's right or wrong, that is what makes me feel alive. That is what makes me feel I'm living a life worth living. And that is what makes me feel balanced and like everything is right. And so it's just a path of coming to trust myself and my intuition and everything that I naturally feel and gravitate towards, instead of making myself go towards, what we're taught or what we're told or what we should do. Um, and so there probably is going to be some failures, and we might fail, and it's going to be an interesting journey, but it's the only one that I feel is the right way. Um, and so, yeah, I kind of just wanted to share that because I really have wanted to start posting again, but I've just been stuck in, being in a life that just doesn't align with how I actually feel. And I feel like a lot of people, like if you have to do it, you kind of have to be in denial about it, to get through it. But I don't, I kind of tried to force myself to do that, and I don't like that. I don't want to do that. I want to feel everything, and it does mean that I'm more different and lonely and can feel depressed. Um, but allowing myself to feel everything, um, doesn't actually put me into a depression. It actually allows me to just go through it, as long as you then follow what your intuition is telling you, which is to change, to move away, to move closer to what feels right. Not just that feels, good, but feels right. Um, and that, I think, has honestly kept me out of deep depression. Um, and this is what ignites a fire in me again and makes me feel like, yes, this is it. This is what the depressed, like if you feel depressed feelings or negativity or low or whatever, or angry or just, uncomfortable or whatever, this is what all of that has been trying to tell me. And it's if you can listen to it, it's actually trying to tell you something, and it's a message, and it will point you on the right path and get you in the right direction if you stop telling it it's wrong, um, and just go with it. And the thing is, you don't know it's right, and it's very confusing, and you think, oh, it must be wrong, or something must be wrong with me, but it's not. It's actually the right way, and it's actually your intuition, and it's actually what you need. Your body wants to heal itself, and if you realign it and balance it, it will reach homeostasis again. And but it needs the mind to follow the body and the intuition, and become aware enough to, be able to feel that and listen to that. And if you're not aware enough, it can just feel like a lot of negativity or some mental illness, and and then that can just really spiral and get really out of control, and cause a lot of self-harm. But yeah, even just expressing this, what I've been ruminating on and ruminating on for ages, I feel just all my creativity coming back. And that's what this life has basically dampened um, in me. And so that is enough of a message for me that this is not, yeah, chasing money or material or something or goals or, yeah, that's not the life for me. That's not what I want. And that's not how I'm going to live. You know, um, it's only a life where you should find what feels right to you. And there is a lot of fear that society puts in you about money and survival. But if you are doing what you genuinely care about and following that, that keeps you in good mental health and that stops you from falling down and risking your survival and actually leads you through a dark tunnel, but to a brighter, lighter, more abundant place within you. And that's what, everything is about: how you feel, what you learn, your knowledge, how you grow, um, and love and happiness and peace and joy. And that's it. That's all there is at the end. That's all that really matters: family and love and connection. And so, yeah, that's it. So, come along, see if we fail, if we succeed, see our ups and our downs. And if you're still listening at this point, then thank you. And if you feel like this resonates with you in any way, leave a message and chat to me. Because I want to build something, I want to grow something, I want to make something, I want to create something in all the unconventional ways. Yeah, so let's see.